Kenny Pickett reacts to Russell Wilson's Cleveland visit, and the latest on Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. Big Deke news. This is what Kenny Pickett had to say about Russell Wilson visiting with the Browns on Thursday. As a kid dreaming of the NFL, all I focused on was the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl. And that goal fuels me today more than ever. My love for the community of Northeast Ohio and the incredible fan base of Cleveland Browns has made this one of the toughest decisions of my life. These past 48 hours have shaped me into the man that I am today. While I've loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete at the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It has always been to compete for and win a Super Bowl. With that in mind, I've requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. Kenny Pickett. No, that actually wasn't his reaction, although that's probably what most of you guys are expecting or were expecting Kenny Pickett's reaction to be to the Russell Wilson news. But this is actually what he had to say regarding the situation.
How do you feel about Russell Wilson being in the building today?
Yeah, it's fine with me. As long as I have a chance to compete, that's all you can ask for. So having that opportunity is awesome as a player. So I'm looking forward to working with whoever comes in the building.
So then, what the hell happened last year? I guess we'll never truly know the full story, but we're only a year removed from the Kenny Russ competition potentially happening here in Pittsburgh in training camp, and obviously Kenny requested the trade and all that, and we didn't get to see it. Now, Russ is visiting with the Browns. Kenny's on the Browns. He's up for the competition. He's up for it. Now, I do think we could guess, right? We could speculate here as to why. There's definitely different circumstances this time around. There's different context to these situations because before, Kenny was supposed to be the guy here. Steelers drafted him to be the guy, first-round pick, and we gave him kind of a raw deal with Matt Canada as the coordinator. He gets hurt. Didn't really get the full opportunity to prove what he could be here. Then going into year 3, we say we got full faith in you. We're going to surround you with some talent. We're really going to try to build this up properly. And then we bring in Russ. So Kenny felt misled and didn't want to deal with the Steelers anymore. Didn't really trust the organization, wanted a fresh start, and he moved on. And I'm not even defending the Pickett decision or anything because even I said at the time it was the wrong move for him. It would have been better for him to stick around, compete, take like that Mason Rudolph approach, and just see what happens. Because in all fairness to the Steelers, in defense of the Steelers, they said once the offseason hit that Kenny was going to have to deal with competition. That competition just so happened to be Russell Wilson. So you can't blame the Steelers for bringing in Russ on $1 million contract and trying to improve their team. So I get both sides of it. I think it's just a different circumstance back then versus what it is now. Kenny and Russ both on, I wouldn't say their last legs of their NFL career, maybe more Russ than Kenny because Kenny, we'll say last legs to be an NFL starter. How about that? Because I was going to say Russ is older than Kenny, but Kenny, if he doesn't make this thing happen sooner rather than later in terms of proving that he could be a starter in the league, he's just going to be delegated to being a backup, viewed as a backup for the rest of his career. And I think we're kind of in that situation with Russ. It's just that Russ has the name and everything. He's got the brand where I don't even know if he's going to be a backup going forward. I think it's either for him, starter, or retire. Although maybe he does take I'm trying to think of some quarterbacks late. I mean, the Flacco approach, right? I remember Matt Hasselbeck, once he wasn't the starter anymore, he was bouncing around being the backup. So there's a path for that, right? If he wanted to. I don't know what Russ's energy is on that. I think this situation, though, with Kenny and Russ, they don't have as much leverage, either of them. I think both of them are fighting to remain a starter in the league. So whoever walks in and is going to be competition, you have to be okay with it from both vantage points, Russ and Kenny. But yeah, that's that. I thought it would be a funny way to start off today's show. Let's get into Rodgers talk. So new Steelers, DK Metcalf and Darius both had their introductory press conferences with the Steelers yesterday. And DK Metcalf said something interesting about the quarterback position.
They made me felt welcome first off, and then secondly, they made me feel like they had the right decision, with who was going to be throwing me the football. And I'm not making a decision in the quarterback room, so I'm just going to try to do the best of my abilities to help whoever they have out there throwing the football. So
does DK know something that we don't? Steelers have full faith that we're going to have the quarterback situation worked out and we're going to get the right guy to be throwing him the ball. Is this exactly what we had in mind? Is this what we had in mind? Low ball Justin Fields, low ball Darnold, and wait on Aaron Rodgers and sign Mason Rudolph? Is this how we had it planned out Sunday night going into Monday? If so be, as long as we get Aaron Rodgers, fine. The way that DK said that though makes me curious. Did the Steelers think when they were trading for DK Metcalf that Rodgers, there was a really good chance Rodgers was coming here? And again, that goes back to why maybe we didn't really go all in on Justin Fields. We didn't go in on a Sam Darnold. That signs, or there was something that made us think that Rodgers was going to be coming here. Now, it would be nice to know for a fact at some point here, sooner rather than later, because it's going to start getting to that point. If we start bleeding into next week and 2 weeks, then it just starts getting ridiculous. But my guess is, here's my guess: early next week, we're going to know one way or another. I think maybe Rodgers takes the weekend to sit on it, and then Monday, Tuesday, something like that, he's going to go on McAfee Show and announce it, and he's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. That would be my bet. And not only DK, I think DK, we heard from Eccles yesterday too that they would be for Rodgers coming here, but even Darius Slay, a guy that, is a cornerback that's going up against Rodgers, that has gone up against Rodgers in a lot of these NFC matchups over the years, says that he's all for Rodgers being in the black and gold.
Yeah, shoot, he was in Green Bay, slicing and dicing. So hopefully once upon a time he's slicing and dicing, we on the same team.
Now the Giants are apparently offering Rodgers more money than the Steelers. Not shocking news there. But remember, Rodgers' decision apparently isn't really being held up by money. It's more about fit and I think just the overall football opportunity. I think he's weighing everything, not just money. And if it comes down, here's my thing: if it somehow leaks out and Rodgers does sign with the Giants and he says, yeah, if the Steelers just would have matched the Giants' offer, would have given a little bit more, I definitely would have been a Steeler, then shame on us. Shame on the Steelers, man. Like, if Rodgers wants a couple more bucks, give him a couple more bucks at this point. Because, again, we have lost our leverage on the situation to a decent degree. Now, I get we have Mason as the backup plan. A lot of us are cool with going with Mason. I would be one of them, but you still got a chance to get Aaron Rodgers with DK Metcalf, with Pickens, and potentially sign another veteran receiver as your third guy. Like, you got a chance to maybe do some things here. You got a chance to take a big swing. Now, Mason, you're taking a little bit of risk with him, and we know he's got the talent. We know he's got the deep ball and all that. But, like, bro, this is the type of stuff, like the Rodgers signing, this is the type of stuff I've been talking about all offseason, and how the Steelers need to get out of their old ways and take some big swings, take some chances. And they've been doing it too. I got to give credit here. I really do, because Dulac is thinking that this whole Rodgers stuff is being orchestrated by Mike T. And if that's so, I got to give credit to Mike T. I got to give credit to Tomlin. Now, Khan's making these signings, but all this stuff does go through Tomlin, like the roster construction and all that too. He's got a huge say in all this. So not only with the Rodgers stuff, but the DK Metcalf trade, the Darius Slay signing, some of these other lower key signings, these lower key pickups like Malik Harrison and Eccles, Kenneth Gainwell. I got to credit Tomlin right now, because we were talking about change when the season ended. What are these changes going to be? Obviously, we're keeping the coaches. We're going to need elite quarterback play. Like, that's going to be the one thing, even though we're not seeing the coaching changes or anything. The one thing that could be the saving grace for this roster, for this team going forward, would be getting elite. We need a quarterback. We need elite quarterback play. So we'd be taking a chance on getting that here with Rodgers. I mean, the three quarterbacks that we prioritize over Russ, Rodgers, Darnold, and Fields, all guys with elite quarterback upside at this point, whereas I don't really think Russ has that anymore. So I got to credit Tomlin. If he is the one orchestrating this, if he is the one that's got the heavy say in these roster moves in free agency, I got to give big props because this is change. This is something. This is a spark. This is switching up from what we've been dealing with. Trying to get an Aaron Rodgers versus just going with the guy that's good enough that's just going to get us to 10-7, just be the safe option. Now it's just wait and see. We're still in that mode. But, yeah, I think something gets done here in the next few days. That's my guess. What's your guys' bet? How long does it take? Does Rodgers take this into April and announce on McAfee in his live Pittsburgh show in April? That'd be ridiculous. That'd be absolutely ridiculous. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Big Deke News. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Peace.